Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Friday, February 28th, 2025. Well, today in the news, there is a lot of talk about the nothing burger that was the Epstein file release that happened and today. And there is also a lot of outrage being shouted from multiple directions over the fact that this release became kind of a nothing burger for now. For now, let's take a look at that. And the Attorney General for Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, who is kind of facing the flack for this event and or non-event. And let's do a tarot dive into it because it's a complicated situation. Okay, by the way, my channel, I'm curious. I try to be accurate, but at the end of the day, this is a tarot channel and this is for entertainment purposes only. But if you glean some facts and insights from it, great. If not, go somewhere else. That's fine. So I had a couple people that were upset that we explored the Gene Hackman death yesterday. And sorry, too bad. We're going to look at current events and things, and we're not going to deliberately step on toes, but it happens. Okay, now there's some chatter in the alt media community that Pam Bondi is actually a 2.0. The reasoning being, there's several reasons. First of all, her looks have changed quite dramatically over the years, especially if you look at some earlier photos. Now, to be fair, according to Wikipedia, this woman was born in 1965. She's pushing 60. To look how she looks now, she would have had to have a lot of work done. I mean, that's just, you know, a fact of life. So is it a combination of diet, exercise, and some uh, good plastic surgery, and cosmetics and stuff, or is she a 2.0 is kind of one of the speculations that is out there. Now, one of the other reasons that that's thought is it is pretty much well accepted in the alt media community that quite a few of Donald Trump's picks for cabinets, etc., are 2.0s, which makes them inherently trustworthy because they're not the original. When they are the original, which is someone that's been thrust into the limelight, it's either because there's some trust there, or again, they're wanting us to examine closely what this person does with the auspices and um, positions that they hold. So it's one or the other going on, either a 1.0 who's in the spotlight, but possibly with a chance at redemption, or a 2.0 who is playing a part and doing their little bit for the cause. Now, Pam Bondi yesterday in an interview implied that she had looked over and examined the contents of the binders that were in a photo op distributed to a number of high-level influencers in the alt media community, citizen journalists. And then today, she's back shouting that she's outraged that what those binders contained was pretty much a lot of redacted material and material that had already been released in some form or another through the years in the media already. So there was outrage there. There's outrage, and I think this is a growing this irritation and impatience and bordering on outrage that I'm feeling from the collective from people. There's a lot of people saying, hey, it's time, rip the band-aid off. We want truth, we want disclosure, we want transparency. Even people that are just only aware politically and not maybe some of the topics that I touch on and see if there's some dot connecting on. There's people that are just saying, enough already. Let's clean this mess up. And I think that if there needs to be a gauge about public sentiment overall about that, I think that's coming through loud and clear, and I don't think it's going away. In one of the quotes that is attributed to Hillary Clinton was that, and I'm paraphrasing here, that it wouldn't be safe to walk the streets if people knew the full truth. And I think the collective is getting to that point where, we're at the point of, we want things done. We want things cleaned up. We want accountability. We want people held responsible for their actions. And yeah, I think we're getting to that point where that might actually be true. That lack of safety walking the streets if you're part of the shenanigans gang, and you still seem to be not being held accountable for it in some way or another. Something to think about. Okay, now let's keep it in perspective. 16 times, and I'll show you a quick share screen of that. The 17 team assured us, hang on, we're first going, well, no, I'm not going to share that right now because I'm going to go another direction with that. Okay, 16 times the 17 team said, we have it all. Time and again, we have had proofs that what is there in those posts, even though the most recent one is from 2022, is accurate and kind of has a little bit of foreshadowing of future events and notable incidents that are going to be occurring. And 16 times, it wasn't just a solitary mention of we have it all. I tend to think that there's a lot of truth embedded in those posts with their Socratic questioning and things like that. So I choose to believe that when they said, we have it all, they have it all. So, what is the purpose, if they've had it all, of letting the FBI play these games of retaining documents and not following the AG's directive and things like that? What's a result of that? Well, first of all, people actually see that there's still a lot of ongoing corruption in that agency. It's making it much more likely, if it's ever discussed to disband it, that there's going to have, there, even our normies are going to see that there's due cause for it, that the corruption was so deep, so bad, that they ignored an AG's directive and went their own way. Same could be said for some of the other three-letter agencies. Okay, it's their time again in the spotlight to either redeem themselves or seal the fate of their agencies. And I don't at this point know which way it's going to go. I know what I'd like to do, start over. Okay, so if 17 has it all, says we have it all, and they said it 16 times, what's the purpose of this? We've had in the last couple of weeks, we had some disclosures that, oh, that the FBI building, which is supposedly empty, but anyway, that there were shredders going and things like that. What is the purpose of that? They're letting those final few people deeply embedded out themselves in that last panicked bid of maybe I can still get out of this. Maybe I can still hide this information. Maybe I could still keep this source or this compromised situation out of the public eye. They outed themselves. So again, it's going to help with the cleanup of that agency vastly. It's also going to, again, help with public perception of just how compromised so much, not all, but so much of that agency is. So I want to have some insights and information about this being Pam Bondi, not the Epstein file. I'm going on faith that we have it all. And there's been some chess moves allowing people to, again, compromise themselves, out themselves, that's kind of what's going on. And then again, giving some good barometric readings to those gauging public sentiment on where the normies, not just those that are awake, but the normies are as far as wanting this information out, wanting to know, let's find out, let's clean house, let's have justice served. You know, they're getting a good barometric pressure with that. So there are some outcomes from this situation and this delay that are very, very positive, that are going to advance the cause. And the cause is having our government reduced in size, greatly transparent, and to have the human race as a whole, but the American people specifically, since I'm in America and we're talking about the Epstein file and things like that, that to have us have some accountability seen as being taken towards perpetrators, that truth is out there, that justice is being served. And I do see some of that happening. I do see some loops closing. We've had some people that are leaving the public stage or getting ready to, that I think have been dealt with long ago. And I said, well, you need to start watching for these storylines to close up. So maybe somebody was dealt with in a tribunal in 2018, but they were allowed to seem to still be doing their job or in their position. And those positions and those jobs and those people seem to be kind of meeting an end, which matches what has probably already happened. So I find that kind of exciting to see. I really do. So let's though take a look today very specifically at Pam Bondi. I'd like to know, is she a 2.0 plus additional insights and information about what's going on with this? I mean, at the very least, if this is a huge fail and she can't redeem herself or produce, it's going to make President Trump's next pick for AG, or maybe a return to his original pick of Matt Gaetz, be a lot less controversial because he let an establishment name or person seem to take that position. Again, an establishment name and person who, during their tenure as Attorney General for Florida, didn't effectively pursue and hold Epstein accountable. She didn't do it then. This is your chance to do it now. And so far, it's just not happening. Let's see what the cards want us to know about Pam Bondi. I'm going to first go to that share screen I promised you. We're going to talk about a couple things and then we'll see what the cards have to say. I apologize if this is going a little long. As I said, it's kind of a complicated situation. And I didn't want to not address a few points during my discussion with you. So your patience is appreciated. Okay. First of all, the Grok summary is pretty good, actually. I'm not a big fan of AI, but so far their summary here is pretty good. Attorney General Pam Bondi's release of the initial Jeffrey Epstein files on February 27, 2025, has sparked widespread discussion due to the lack of new revelations and her subsequent accusations against the FBI for withholding critical documents. On February 27, 2025, Bondi released the Epstein files Phase 1, which included flight logs and a contact list, but contained no significant new information, disappointing many who expected bombshell disclosures. Following the release, Bondi sent a letter to FBI Director Kash Patel alleging that the FBI's New York field office withheld thousands of pages of Epstein-related documents, demanding their delivery by 8 a.m. on February 28, 2025. The event has fueled public and media scrutiny, with posts on X reflecting frustration, speculation about Bondi's transparency, and calls for accountability within the FBI. And there are some reports on alt media that some of that accountability has happened, but we'll wait to see that get a little more widespread within the alt media community than just one or two sites. And then again, here was where when I did a search for that, went on down, it said yesterday, Pam Bondi implied she'd already seen what was to be released and discussed it. So yesterday, she seemed pretty happy with what was going to be coming out. And now she's expressing frustration and outrage. Now, again, I mentioned here is 17 posts. There are 16 posts found containing "We have it all." If you follow or reference previous posts by 17 for current events, and I do see if there's correlations and connections there. And since it wasn't a singular thing, I think it's pretty important and pretty reassuring that they have it all. The reason it hasn't been disclosed serves multiple purposes, in my opinion. Laura's view. You get Laura's view here with the tarot too. Okay. Let's switch the camera and see what the universe wants us to know about the person seen in the public eye as Pam Bondi, Attorney General for the United States. Okay, so we would like insights and information about the United States Attorney General, who is already facing a lot of heat and backlash about the ineffectiveness of the Phase 1 Epstein files release, how little, what a nothing burger that has proven to be. And she kind of shot herself in the foot by implying she had seen the information and found it to be relevant and cogent. Now, let's get insights and information about this person, including, I have a yes or no element to this. I would like to know, is the Pam Bondi that we see in the public eye as Attorney General, is she a 2.0? Plus additional insights and information the universe might want us to know about how this job performance and is being done, played out, etc. Okay, our first card is the moon. Right there, we got an indication we're dealing with a 2.0. Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Sun, Queen of Wands, We got our yes if we didn't already have it with the moon card. Ace of Wands, and another eight with the Eight of Wands. Okay, let's talk about these cards and we'll get a few more before we finish the read, see if there's additional insights. But there's actually a lot of information already available to us here. Okay, so Pam Bondi, the perceived person playing the part of our Attorney General, we have the moon card showing up here. So we just had right there that the person we're seeing is not the original, right there with the moon card. In fact, that person may no longer be on the earthly plane. So maybe the original Pam Bondi really had more to do with the non prosecution of Epstein than we were told and has been dealt with in some way. And we're getting, and again, I'm thinking that there's been some kind of a tribunal situation involving that because we have the Knight of Pentacles card, which is about a very well thought out military strategy type of thing, which is what we're told that the 17 team has that military strategy and tried to share it with us in a very unique way. Now, the multiple eights are reassuring. When you have multiple eights in a read like that, especially when there's two of them, what they're telling us is that there's this desire to get it right the first time. And we've been told that one of the reasons we've had to live with some delays and frustrations has been the fact that they have to get it right. That the strong positioning of evil was so deep that the offensive against them had to be exact to be completely correctly completed. And I believe that to be true. Right now, the what this 2.0 is doing, the White Hats, the Alliance are very happy with it. This is a joy success card. So even though the person playing the part is expressing frustration that the FBI, the New York, specifically the New York office of the FBI, did not share information. It's all playing into their hands. It's all chess moves, guys. They knew that they would get caught with their hands in the cookie jar, being the FBI that did this. They'd be catching some people and shining a spotlight on, again, the corruption and issues within that agency. And they're really happy with that. They're happy with the fact the sentiment being expressed by the public, with the fact that they've proven that there's been some withholding of evidence and some lack of teamwork. Again, these agencies are getting one chance to redeem themselves or to seal their fate. And the FBI, that specific office, and possibly the entire bureau is sealing their fate. And I've often reminded people the FBI was created by executive orders, a stroke of a pen. It can be done away with the same way, but they would need to be able to justify it and show a viable alternative for what that agency should have been doing. May happen. Looking ahead here, near future, we got the Queen of Wands showing up. And just again, I think this is saying, this is letting us know that even though we're dealing with a 2.0, she is playing her part to perfection. The White Hats are very happy with how she's doing it. Okay, so this, even the expressing frustration and the phase one release that was such a nothing burger, it is all, they're really pleased with how it's being rolled out. The Ace of Wands was our yes card as far as the 2.0 question. And then the other insight card here is saying there's a lot of events going on, some of them in the public eye, more of them in the public eye now, thank goodness. But there's lots of things going on here. So again, that there is lots of projects in process. It's not just one. And again, just keep that in mind that there's a lot going on. Now let's get a few more cards for additional insights and information. But just remember, again, the White Hats seem to be pretty happy with how this 2.0 is doing her job. We have the Tower card, King of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Cups and the Empress. Okay, now what I'm getting from these last four cards is that I don't think Pam Bondi is going to be, or the person playing the part of Pam Bondi is going to be Attorney General for the full 4 years of this term of office for President Donald Trump. Okay, and it's again playing into a chess move type plan that it looks like eventually there's going to be she's going to retire happily, knowing she did her part to help the alliance, the White Hats, whatever. And I just see this tower moment saying that she's going to go away. If she seems to fail at her job or performance or what have you, again, we had that joy and success card here. They're actually really happy with how she's doing this. And it is doing a great job of spotlighting some corruption and lack of cooperation that the public just needs to be very, very aware of. Let's recap. We reviewed some of the current event situation going on with the phase one release of the Epstein um, list and information about the Epstein files, how what a nothing burger that has been, the scrutiny that that has placed on the FBI field offices that did not submit information in accordance with their attorney general's demands, and Pam Bondi's kind of in the public eye. We also talked about how there is some alt media chatter that Pam Bondi might be a 2.0 because the original Pam Bondi was attorney general when Epstein was doing all of his shenanigans down in Florida, and the prosecution didn't pursue him as they could have. So just wondered what's going on. Is there a 2.0? You know, what's going on? And then as far as the Epstein files themselves go, there are 16 different posts by the 17 team that said, we have it all. So you either believe that or you don't. What's the purpose then of continuing to withhold this or act like they still needed information from a source? It was, I believe, to get bad actors to out themselves. Those maybe that have been deeply embedded, that had up till now seemed to be patriotic and willing to play ball with the current administration and be on the side of truth and justice. So there's that. We asked the universe then, what's going on with Pam Bondi? The yes or no element to the question was, is she a 2.0 plus additional insights and information? So here's what we got. We got an absolute hard yes that this woman is a 2.0. More than that, the card that came up signifying her was the moon card. And clarifying that moon card was the military strategy and really stable, thought out military action card of the Knight of Pentacles, which tells me that the original may have faced some consequencing at the spa. Interesting to think about. The current situation, despite all the kerfuffle that's going on, all of the outrage and the bluster and the, what have you that's going on, the White Hats are actually very happy with this situation. Again, it's shining a light on the non-cooperation of agencies that are supposed to be simply about truth and justice. And it's raising that awareness that the issues may be too big to solve. Again, I've said it a couple times already in this video, but these agencies are getting a chance to redeem themselves or seal their fate. The what's going on here with Pam Bondi, the Epstein files, the fact that there's a 2.0 playing this is all part of a very elaborate and brilliant strategy. And again, when we had that nod with the Knight of Pentacles, that it's military strategy, guys, military strategy all the way going on. When we looked at the near future about her, I got a couple of hits that were interesting. One is that it doesn't seem to me that she is going to be the Attorney General for the entire 4 years of President Trump's term in office. So I'm going to go on record as saying that here. And which may pave the way for his former first choice for Attorney General, Matt Gaetz, to have less of a controversial nomination, or another person who is yet to be named. And a person playing the part of Pam Bondi is doing her part very well, and is going to have a lot of choices moving forward, maybe with a little different look or what have you, for what she does with her life. And she's doing great. And the White Hats actually, like I said, are very happy with what's going on. Even this non-disclosure today, these nothing burgers, they all fit into their plan. Okay. And part of the reason they can do that is evil is not creative. They stick with a playbook. And when it doesn't work, instead of going to the table and getting creative, they just do the same thing harder. So they withheld information and outed themselves as non-compliant and non-cooperative. And the White Hats are actually pretty happy with this situation that's evolving. And again, I say to you folks, at least the Laura's view into this, as far as the Epstein files and Epstein lists, they have it. They have it all. Okay. And I take those 16 posts that said that, I'm taking it to the bank and just saying, I'm not going to worry about it. Even then, worry is a useless emotion. What can I do about it if I worry about it? I can think about it. I can observe the events. And maybe listening to an entertainment channel like mine on these events helps you to make it through without getting too wrapped up emotionally in these elaborate schemes and events that are going on and the way the news unfolds. But I would like, and I'm sure you would too, a little less strategy, a little less campaigns, a little less, and just results. Honest, clean results and accurate information. And we're coming to where that'll be more and more what we deal with. But the process is the process. That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and your attention and appreciate each and every one of you. I've got some new subscribers. I want to welcome you. Appreciate you very much. And until next time, if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish you everything bright. Bye.